Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bactria. As we load back into this session that's been long running ever since the beginning of the Astoria series, and this continues on with Bactria. And I want to give a shout out to another YouTuber. I forgot his name, so I apologize, because apparently he's also doing a Bactrian series, which as of this recording I wasn't aware of it until now. That, well, I mean, this is different from my Bactria. Not saying size-wise of the Empire, it's how they begin with. It's more of rather, well, back in 867, the only way to try to form Bactria as a native Afghan is to be of the Shahi dynasty, which are Shaivite Hindu Afghans. That's one thing, and his goal in that series was to become a Zoroastrian. I mean, requirements are the same. You know, get Khorasan, get parts of Transoxiana, and then you have Empire of Bactria, along with the other parts of the kingdom that you also held that would become de jure part of Bactria, much like I have with Sindh and Punjab. So, I just want to give a shout out to the guy who's doing a Zoroastrian Empire of Bactria, while I'm doing my Buddhist Empire of Bactria. Well, we were initially Catholic because we came from Spain, and then we became Afghans and became Vajrayana Buddhist. I mean, that's for circumstances. But we will continue on the Eastern events. But meanwhile, a threat is inching closer and closer to us. And that's the Bactrian Mongol Empire. Khagan Temujin is still feeling fine, so by the time he's in his 60s, he's going to start feeling poor and may pass away soon. But however, he's on the advance, especially one that stresses me the most, and that is the Mongol invasion of Turan. They want all of this, and you know, Turan is an empire size, so Mongols are allowed to invade something that is empire-sized. So that includes them too. So they'll be inching their way here and reaching Bactria's borders. But at the same time, I'm getting old. I'm ailing right now. But since I have this trait, thanks to the character's, you know, experience with medicine, he knows himself, because when death of natural causes is 1 year away, I will receive a warning. So there's something that I must do to feel like, well, one of my last wars that I would fight to advance. We already control one holy site of Sanchi. We won't go down that way, even though it kind of seems nice. But we want to go up to Lumbini, Sana, and Bodhgaya. Particularly this one, because I find it most attractive with fertility plus 10 and monthly lifestyle experience 15% plus. There is no holy site in the world that has the same bonuses or the following effects of it that has monthly lifestyle experience. I looked it up on Crusader King's Wiki. There's nothing like that. This is brilliant. So I need to get there as fast as I can. And since I got a lot of piety, or since, you know, it's an Indian faith, back in Crusader Kings 2, Hindus and Buddhists call their piety karma, and for Jains it's purity. So we need to go get some of this. Whoever's the owner there. A theocracy. Really? We don't often get theocracies. I'm gonna need your claim. We just only want the Great Vihara. We'll put up our own theocracy vassal to run, you know, the birthplace of the Buddha. So I'm gonna have an unpressed claim on you. And since you run Kashi, which includes the Holy Site of Varanasi, a holy site for both Hindus and Buddhists, The Buddhist one is Sarnath, which is in the vicinity of Varanasi. Also known as Kashi, also known as Benares. Now, here's another claim. So Rajakashi Lumbini. Actually, we may have to get that too, just to connect. So we just spring this way. But Bodh Gaya is held by Mawa. May never know, I'll get it too. Which means we have to fight against Mawa again, which I think we still have a treaty with him. Oh, it'll expire. Lucky us. We have to make quick advances now. As prosperous as this period has been, we need to advance to get to the holy sites to get the good bonuses before the Mongols start knocking on our borders. Especially I'm getting old. And when I get old, well, what the hell are you saying? When you get old, you get... What kind of saying is that? Anyways, when I feel that my death is near, I will designate the heir, as I have the absolute crown authority. The vassals won't like it, but it ain't gonna be him. He's too old. Too old to begin a defense. Despite his... He'll be a good commander, but he's craven. When we don't want a craven ruler. And that's why I've taken upon myself, prior to this recording, Shadok Rezan. She's a genius, she's hell. Even though she's charming, easy for me to say. Her focus will be martial. Only because she's got a very good mind, and look at a monthly lifestyle experience. With that, and the control of the holy site, she'll be leveling up very fast, even though her martial is poor right now, but give it time. Then she'll have more than an advantage. And then when she becomes the Queen of Queens of Bactria, she needs to marry someone who has the highest martial skill of the land. With inheritable traits, I might add. Although she's already a good fighter, despite the ones that's inherited and part of the legacy. Now, move the rally point. Starting here. We got the claims. Oh, you could select them at a time for multiple claimant wars. Wait a minute. Are we missing something here? Gonna need another one from you. Thank you. I don't need that. My mistake. This will be the exception. This is how much we wish to advance. Apparently increasing their costs will cost you more of the piety. Excuse me, prestige. Oh, where did you get those troops? Mercenaries? Plenty. But, however, you are under a big war. So, they won't be a bother. We have to make a very quick advance to grab the relevant objectives of this side of the land before we advance to Magadh itself, to Patliputra. But since he's wearing armor, that means he's leading an army somewhere. and at the same time I will raise my daughter. And just recently thought that maybe I should switch to family focus if I live long enough, at least a little bit. So I could go pick up this perk, so a little more extra skill points. A race against time. The Mongols are advancing fast, and so are we. Stay put. Yes, I'm leading this army. I will go up here as well. And as for you other two, take this. Anyone else that's not been ordered to move? Oh, why haven't I seen this option before? Anyways, advance. Aha! There's that other army that has not been assigned. Fair enough. Change my lifestyle by November. That's the enemy. Well, shoot. Oh. Lost a claim. We're no longer at war with the Heir. That means we won't be able to take Sarnath for more learning. But there's the holy site that we most desire. Lumbini. Okay. Attack. Go on, my love. Destroy that enemy army. Should be able to catch him. Once we deal with this, then we'll be sure to fight him. Monthly income while at war. It'll be useful for us. That's the Maharaja himself! What's he doing out there? Catch him! Catch him! You are surrounded. You and your bodyguard. Welcome to my communion, brother. You're next. What kind of form of witch cover? There's 15,000 of us and only one of you. We got you surrounded. Damn! How did you not capture him? Also, again, the main objective is just these two. Where's their capital? Over there. First, since you're the one with siege weapons, I suggest you go and take their capital. These are hostile armies, so nothing to do with. But do take them on. Chase them down. As I said, this complicates things. Kingdom of Himalaya and Bihar separated. We have taken Lumbini. But we still need to take this castle holding, so get the siege weapons up. We'll get out of this jungle. Stay there and be resupplied a bit. Army of Lucknow. Maharaja's back. Should we get in after him? Maybe. At least there's a ford. Got him in the jungle. It's a bad place to be fighting in. Now begin the siege to the capital of Lucknow. Not to be confused with Lucknow. Hey, why aren't you assigned this song? You're better needed up there than I. I can feel it in my very bones. Yami will come from me like an old friend. He is patiently waiting to receive me. I'll be dead within a year. Oh no. I should get my affairs in order. Well, I have chosen. I know who is to rule Bactria for the defense against the Mongol Empire. But he's slowing down a little. My time is coming. Sooner than later. Yeah, it's kind of too late to get that now. So, who is to rule Bactria is the question. It'll be her. I don't know, some of you are thinking, it's like, what? Why her? Because she's a genius as hell, and I believe she's best qualified. Even though she's getting a martial education, soon she will be raised by someone with very good martial. So, Rezan, you may be very young, and I know people are going to resent you because you're only a child, but under equal doctrine, no one will question you. Because I believe in you, that you will defend Bactria against the Mongols. She is the heir to the Empire. Now let's try to win this war quickly. Are you sure there's no one else that's a siege master? Aha! Oh my goodness, they're bringing up big armies over here. If we fight them here, we will get killed. Get over here. Break away. Isn't there someone who's an organizer? To get the armies moving faster? None of these commanders will do. Except maybe for me. At least put up a fight. While we wait for reinforcements. Hide here. To the jungle. Yes, here. It's a good place to put up a defense. Stay on that side of the Gunga. We got this objective under our control. Oh crap. Made a critical error. We'll probably win, but we probably won't get here in time. I think I know a focus change. This is my last battle, and I need every advantage I can get. Increase the advantage. Who's with me? Some of the best fighters that I know of. Including my daughter. Pikemen will not fight well in the jungle. But we'll be defending a river crossing. We're just crossing a bit of the river that goes into the Ganges. We have to hold out until reinforcements arrive. They're going to be bringing armored footmen, crossbowmen, cavalry, more crossbowmen, pikemen, archers, skirmishers, armored footmen, and no shortage of chevaliers. Every little advantage I can get. That's 35 for martial skill, leading old soldiers, chivalry, and inherited tactics. It's the best we could do. Just to hold out until good reinforcements arrive. So here we go. The Battle of Jalauga. Which will be concurrent with this other battle. Which we'll have to get rid of them. And if we survive this, get to the capital and win as quickly as we can. Hostile armies are coming. Oh, this keeps getting worse. Oh no, these are retreating armies, but we're taking casualties. Our pikemen are doing well in the jungles, but no, we won't make it in time. Yeah, we're in total retreat now. We won't get here in time. We lose this one. We got out of there with our lives. And obviously you're doing well. So you'll get to the capital then. Pay them back. They're not armored footmen, they're Kandadians. Indian armored footmen. Welcome to our communion. What I don't think it'll be enough to form a wedge coven. But hey, at least you could try. We won't catch him. But let's get over there. Start the siege a bit early. Rosanna's been asking me for a wooden sword for a long time, and I told her I would get one, or in 3 months she displayed more focus in her studies. Trusting. Or tell her to be content, or fickle. Let me see. Trusting's bad for intrigue, but vassals will like her, but it would likely make hostile schemes a success. Or make her content, which is more learning. Increase stress loss, and vassals will like her more. That will likely be the option. She must focus on the boons she already possesses. It's good to be content, you know, with what you have. Go, go, go! Start this sieging early, until the siege weapons could get here. 3 years! Impossible! Until the first set of siege weapons arrive, we'll move out. Alright, they're here. Let's go. Get the Maharaja. I don't think I'll make it. I will die at 80. Deserves to know his power. So yes, you are convinced. That is a witch. That's gonna take 4 months. It's 4 months too long. We'll never get to that holy site now. We have to go. More siege webs about to arrive, but I believe it's too late. Unless we assault it right now. Large breach. We gotta do it. 10 days. We got it. Kashi. I will get Lumbini and Takana and these 2 vassals. We got it. We got it. We did not get Sarnath, which would have been for more learning. We won't get to Mawa, but we have acquired Lumbini, which is under our control. This is thank the gods. Thank Buddha. Now I can die in peace. Well, I will grant to... Well... Should be a theocracy vassal, you know? Rather than me that holds it. Again, I don't want to govern this region. But hey, as long as it's somebody from our faith. Who's the most learned, not landed character? I don't think it's possible to give you land, right? Well, you do have all these titles, so why not you? Can't do that. Okay. Fair enough. Any non-landed character. Heir to Marzipane. Any guests? An outstanding fighter, you say? Good thing I had to discover you before you go. Shevai Telugu? Okay, from within a court then. You got nothing better to do? I'll give you Lumbini. So now you are back. There you go. Now you're a theocracy vassal. And I guess you can hold that too. Now don't ask me for Raj. And I'm sure you probably want some of this. Oh yeah, Moran was my court decision. Which will look for another one in her time. Well, for now, she's content. Bingo. Lumbini is ours, so monthly lifestyle experience, which I'm going to give you this for example. Well, since I just focus on this, so that's plus 35 a month. For someone who is not educated in martial, if you are a genius, have Squire traditions, and then boom, you got yourself a holy site now. So that's 38 a month. So that's every, no, well not 5 months. But I'm sure under Rezan, with a martial skill, as I said before, she's going to be the one to defend against the Mongol Empire. Because they are advancing as we speak. And also to advance on Khorasan. And we will get Sarnath and Bodh some other time. Probably during under her reign. But now, I must go. And do not forget about the development. It's time for me to go. One last mystical communion. Oh gosh, I'm ill now. Yep, it's definitely time for me to go. Well, I can't lock any more perks anymore. Despite how this looks, but hey. Be dying wearing this so damn shirt again. Just generate all the money you can, and under his reign, look what we made bulk to. 36 development. It's right up there with the Punjab. My last order. Build loopholes. By constructing towers so that there's a series of holes of which arrows can be fired. The reach and protection of the archers are significantly increased. More defensive advantage. Increased supply limit. Now archer toughness. No, we ain't got no archers. Nor do we plan on it. I mean, we don't have any units that's, good at fighting in jungles. House guards are cheap, really. I mean, I thought about looking into these, but how is it compared to armored footmen? Better. And they can do screen. Rezan would probably love to have these as we continue to expand and have more wealth. That was the last order. Shahanshah Alfonsu of Bactria had transcended his material form at the age of 80. Material form, that's a Buddhist way of passing. He died of unknown causes. Don't know how he died, to be exact. Old age? Illness? Who knows? A renowned herbalist. It was said that he could cure all ailments with the right concoction, but he was not able to cure himself, which is rather ironic. Died from being ill. We'll just say he died of being ill. He was exalted among men and a paragon of virtue. He was a medicine man of everything. Herbalist, renowned physician, whole of body, a scholar and a theologian. And he fought in 10 wars. And now, the Queen of Queens, Beneb Shen Rezan, ascends to the throne. Merely 90 years old, she will need to rely on the council during her first years of rule. But it was said that Alfonso predicts that Rezan will be the one to defend Bactria against the Mongolian threat, which is something that we're beginning to increasingly be concerned of. And plus, she wasn't, in the line of succession, but it was rather chosen by Alfonso. Said that she will lead. And lead she shall. Emperor Melindo became the new dynasty head again. The son endorses me. But what of the vassals? They probably won't like that. No alliance as far as clan vassal. Really, you Indians, Hindus, run on clans? Really? This is a feudal kingdom. What about further inside? Bodpa clan. Apparently the Punjabi runs on clans. I didn't know they do that. I thought the clans is for Islamic countries only. Nope. It's certain ethnicity, so Punjabi clans. He doesn't like that. Not rightfully each foreign culture. I know there are differences in faith, but please understand this. Shah of Kashmir. Let's say that I give you some money. Oh, that probably won't be enough. There's probably going to be some malcontents around here. Okay, who wants the jobs? You're very qualified, and I'm going to need you to help out with the domestic affairs. Unfortunately, he's qualified as a powerful vassal, but there's just no good skills. The exception is him, but he's ambitious. I can understand absolute crown authority, and if they form a Liberty faction, I'll be happy to turn it down. I'll give in to their demands, but for goodness sakes, don't rebel for independence or anything like that. You're gonna do more harm than good. And continue the development. It's my father's wishes. need you to organize levies. Need to faster reinforcements because of the Mongolian threat. We don't have the strength like we used to, but they are similar to us. Really, Thessalonica for the Duchy of Etral. Well, you've inherited the war. So the Mongols have made first contact with the Byzantine Empire, or at least a vassal of it. Since I have a martial education, or going to get a martial education, who is worth to teach me how? That'll be my brother. My older brother will raise me. Varsasp. Can alter my appearance. They say you want to be like a warrior queen of queens? Well, you gotta start dressing up like one. Let me see. This is the commonly, Arabic armor that we typically see around here. But I want to be like Grandmother Aldara. So I should start wearing Indian armor. And the braided hair just came from, well, my Tajik mother who just died of natural causes last year. That's where I get the hairstyle from, but no, you gotta be more, it's very long, wavy. It's slightly uncouth, but not here to, pull your hair up, tie it up, and the braids. No. Just let it be loose and wavy so the wind can blow all that. Looks rather odd, this hairstyle to go along with the Indian helmet. So perhaps I should just wear the same crown just like Aldara. Or alternatively, I saw this with, again, more Indian style clothing. Just these, so stick with that. That is who I am, the Queen of Queens. And my intrigue's rather poor, and I'm sure there are some people that want to get rid of me, so. Hey. Give you money. Please protect me. There are some that didn't want me because I was not given. I was chosen. Daughter. What, do you do male preference? Okay. Anyone can leave now. I'm gonna need some additional. Because we're gonna need some money. And invite some loyal Aswaran to use the said money. And a court decision. We need more loyal servants. Liberty faction is created against me. Alright, let's see what we got here. Holy warrior. How much? You'll do. Korush. Sounds similar to Karush, which is, Cyrus. Now I'm the new dynasty head, which is a miracle in itself. Oh. Thank you for reminding me. My culture has discovered guilds. That's +1 domain limit. Cassave is currently exposed, which will get more levy reinforcement rate. And then eventually land grants. If we want to fabricate claims. Which I would do that if I had a lot of money. But I got a long road ahead of me. It's going up, don't you worry. Though I'm happy with the income that we get. Stewart just died. He was the best one. Guess that'll be you. Please bear with me, people. Whatever you demand, we'll get it. Ruler is a powerful vassal who doesn't expect anything from me. Is that so? It's good to know. Remember, I'm Hale. Her body is fit and sound, it says. They just reached over the limit, so then they reach an ultimatum. Huh? In Surrey, Stewart, I've learned much about record keeping and finance. I'm willing to tutor you in these topics in order to gain your favor. Taking finance sciences for 5 years, but gets a weak hook on me. I can manage just fine on my own. Sorry. And Kanyani. Kayani. You heard of that name before? The Sogdian series, remember? That legendary Kayanian dynasty? It's that one. The bear falls before the sword. If we ever do a remake of the Sogdian series, that is the model. Hey, we should use. That's a very, very bad way of saying it. Also, a master huntress. Well, you do have a reason to hunt. You're a Catholic, but do come in. Very rare that we find warrior women. Oh good, you're about to have a child. As long as it doesn't go back to being Catholic, Sogdian should stay Buddhist. They haven't advanced down to the Turan areas. Seems they're losing a bit on the defense. Oh yeah, big time. Looks like they're taking casualties or in the middle of a battle. Somewhere. Well, now it's starting to look like they're not much of a threat as they once were. But if Rezan had her druthers, then maybe, just maybe, you know, she'll be the one to strike the Mongols first. Surgical strike, you know. It's what we need to put an end to this threat once and for all. They're still intimidating. But they just advanced yet again. Okay, they've ended another war. Now they're going to put their focus either on Turan. Well, actually, they're more towards the defense. I think the reason why their numbers are dwindling as we speak is they're on their way to Thessalonica, which is a long way. What's that I see? Gout-ridden. The hell you say? Yeah, I'm a little stressed. For whatever reason. I'm not betrothed. Well, you'll get my answer at a later time. And do not forget to advance on Khorasan. Because we kind of need a part of that. And may possibly create the kingdoms of Khorasan and Transoxiana, so it'll be easier to manage. Now they're advancing. They may not have the special soldiers anymore, but the number of levies are unmatched. Today, with the passing of Saras, the future of Bactria has changed its course. We'll never know what kind of ruler he would become, or if his death's curse, blessing or curse on this empire. One tale ends, another begins. Just in case. Someone strong. Uh-huh. Just in case. Budding attraction. Nestled in bed under my hard skin, I drift to sleep in a warm haze. Standing before me is a magnificent heart that urges me to follow into the drylands. As we reach a glade, my heart starts to pound. My body tingles, my soul yearns. As I turn, the heart is gone. Its place is a beautiful, Well, I'm at that age now I have to pick a sexual orientation, since heterosexual is a commonplace. But, you know, it's something that we do not typically see around here. And at least we're Buddhists, and the old faith of the Catholics back in our ancestral land of Spain. At least we could get away with anything. I mean, I don't know about homosexual. I mean, everybody needs to show it too, so. Probably should just be a bisexual. Girl? Or was it a boy? I cannot remember clearly. You don't want to be a sexual. I think bi will do. It's good to, you know, get them on both sides. This way. Again, same-sex relations is accepted under Vajrayana Buddhism. Because they don't really care about what the hell you do with your sexual relations or whatnot. It's this esoteric Buddhism that it's the only knowledge of interest. So I'll just pick bi, you know. Rather be safe. She likes both boys and girls, in a way. I mean, we gotta respect everybody. So why not pick the best of both? Like, there are some guys, I mean, I'm sure in her adult life she'll probably romance some vassals who are mad at her, and she'll probably romance some girls too. Some women. If she lives long enough. Though they've won some battles. They haven't won a single battle against Merabit. Here you go. I haven't heard any secret plots. And I am known for my dedication of faith. The defenses are complete. There's no more that we can build here in bulk. Caught! My brother Varshasp, that's my guardian, caught me stealing from Satrap Yusha's travel chest while he was visiting the castle. Threatening punishment, Varshasp demanded an explanation. Well, I aspire to be a warrior, but content is good, so you won't get stressed too much. Deceitful, honest, or humble? Let me see. Well, it doesn't say anything about the vassals. I mean, the vassals will come around over time. Especially, you know, this sort of thing. But, although it may sound a bit contradictory. I mean, martial skill is average, but it can be further reinforced later on in time. So I'll just say I was challenged to a game by one of the other children. I mean, my diplomacy is fine, and I like to pick up a bit of intrigue. I'll be deceitful, which is considered sinful, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's the fame that you gotta worry about, not the piety, not the karma. My vassal, Druha Devi's been showing signs of pregnancy for some time now. Everyone thought that her husband, Shah Munu, was the father of the child. Now it's become clear that the real father-to-be is none other than Argbad Michel Sapine. If only I could stay a secret. Where? Oh, down in the center. Right, one of those guys who's your vassal? I don't know how you got here, but nonetheless. So me being deceitful, I mean, the vassals aren't against me for being deceitful. No, it doesn't say. Good. They just care about me being content. But I can be deceitful because you need a little bit of intrigue. Just, well, two reasons. One, it'll help me for future plots. And two, scheme discovery chances increase. Protect yourself. That's our current fascination for this. Will be around for 7 years. And after this, likely going to go for sappers. Faster siege time. And possibly bombards. To introduce gunpowder here. Since it's already been discovered in China, hundreds of years back. Yep, they're on their way. They're occupying. Keep fortifying the defenses. For the borderlands. Especially the narrow pass between Orushana, Samarkand, and Zarafshan. They're a real priority. We do have the money, but it's not enough. Not enough defensive buildings either. So add some watchtowers to it. We're just preparing for the worst. But I'm really happy that we got Lumbini. And it would be nice to get the other two, especially the stress loss bonus, and a little bit more learning will do, especially for fascinations. I'm well skilled all around. Yeah, he's still losing money. We're about to have a Liberty faction come in, which I'll be willing to turn down to turn it down to High Crown Authority. But if they want something else, I'll give it to them. I'll make them happy. It may seem weak in their eyes, but as I'm out playing under Barshash's supervision, I suddenly hear a sound. It is small, it is weak, but it is there. I look at every bush, under every rock, in every direction, and there, a tiny kitten sitting under a thorny bush, all alone. It is my kitty now. A little more intrigue. As the cat rests in my lap, constantly purring, I ponder what should I name it. Something historical, something alluding to a brown fur, something to describe a stewing feeling behind the ear. Oh, I will name it. Oh, these names are lame. Falls, Night. They say brown fur. And fur, so that indicates female. Okay, I came up with the name, but this is a tribute to one of the cats that actually live in my backyard in real life. I have a female mother cat of, let me see, 5 kittens. 2 of which are simply call her Missy. Yes, in real life, that's the name of the mother cat that lives in my backyard. It's not really my pet, it's just they've been living there. So they're kind of like, they were once feral and they became, over time, re-domesticated because they're used to it. So I'm going to call you Missy. Now I'm going to pet you right now, because it'll help me lose some stress. I find Missy outside, strutting around the yard. As soon as she spots, she meows and snuggles, rubbing against my leg. I spend many minutes crouched by her side, petting her, scratching under the chin. When I stand her back again, I feel lighter than in a long time. Thank you, my friend. Not much stress loss. Hey! Okay, here it is. To my liege, it is time for you to demand to recognize the ancient and inalienable rights of your vassals. Accept the demands of the Liberty faction or face our swords on the battlefield. So I'll lose dread, spend prestige. Get down to High Crown Authority. As I said before, I'd be willing to bring it down. It'll make the vassals a little bit more happier. See? Now we're just going to keep raising money, and I'm going to start sending gifts. Have they made their way into Volga, Bulgaria? Ah, peasant revolt. Of course it's down there. No wonder why Aldar lived there, and she kind of, like, well, she wasn't too fond of living there. Raise the local army. Take care of them. Oh. Uh-oh. They're here. They may not have the strength like they used to, but He's a strategist, he's gallant. Master Hunter. 60s, he's still in his prime. While I'm not old enough to lead my troops to the front. It's only a matter of time. Plush and exotic carpet. A plush carpet, vibrant and soft, arrives as a gift from Basilius Nippon. Why would he send me such an exquisite gift? I do not know. But the fine weight of the carpet displeased to touch the skin of a lover. Never thought a 12-year-old would have such things. Who are you? I think I better get rid of it. Plus, it provides good income. I ought to be careful. Just making sure that you're still on my side. Yeah, just to make damn sure. And his scheme resistance is very good. And hopefully it would disrupt the said scheme. Otherwise, we're going to start finding secrets here in bulk. Which, 60% chance of learning something. But, are you sure there's someone more qualified? Yes, but the problem is, powerful vassal. And a drunk. I don't trust a drunk. I'm getting paranoid now. Well, you've done screwed yourself. City. Grantolo Noble. Oh, wow. You're more than just an Agbad. But, unfortunately, the obesity is going to get you before we even put you on the field. You know what, I think it sounds about good right now to be given gifts. To anybody that really gives a damn about me. Yeah, I guess some people didn't like me being deceitful. But I needed the intrigue just to protect me. So watch my back. As soon as he wraps up this one more war, he might invade Bactria, or at least someone weaker. But we will be ready. We're the only empire that can take him on par. I'll get a weak hook on him. Oh, a Catholic. Actually, it's her that I have a hook on. She's content, but you are a little troublemaker, and a Catholic, and then your son's a Muslim. Huh. Strange. I'll pay you too, and no more payments, alright? No more gifts. Unless, let me see. Like, isn't there a way, or is it not until I'm an adult, where I'm allowed to do as the faith suggests? Rulers can host other characters as honored guests, spending piety for exchange for increased... Yes, honored guests. I guess we should do that when we become an adult. Yeah, guess you have to wait for that. Oh dear. Wants to install her, who's the daughter, on the Punjab throne. Do I have the Punjab? Yes, I do. Well, damn. Well, why didn't you say so? If you want the Punjab, I'll give it to you. Never wanted to hold that title. I'd rather hold Transoxiana than there. Matter of fact, I think that may solve my problems. How much is it? How much is for Coruscant? It's easier to delegate and manage. 400. And I'll create Transoxiana for myself in the future. Again, unlanded. Yeah, maybe that'll get them off my backs. That would be the best thing. As I walk outside, I'm greeted by the sight of my marshal, Marzaban Sadutka, crouching beside my cat, Missy, petting her head. This is a quite lovely cat you have, my lady. You are very perceptive. Almost done. They have not taken the objective. Are those Greeks? But once he finishes, he's going to attack us. I know it. Are you sure you're all ready? Heart-wrenching rejection. I spent day and night thinking about Byron. My niece and crush. Niece? What the? My heart flutters when I see her in the castle halls. However, when I approached her with my feelings, she turned me down with a laugh, crushing my heart as she walked away. She's heterosexual and a treacherous villain. Callous. Let's see. Vengeful, chaste, or stubborn? Let me see. Yeah, I don't think vessels are like that, so... If she's content, deceitful, this may sound a little bit contradictory, but I think I'm going for vengeful. This reduces diplomacy a little bit more, which is bad, but intrigue, good, just to protect myself a little more, and have a bit more prowess, and some dread gain, and hostile scheme success chance against rivals. So I stop having a crush. And look at me now. Yes, I admit that I'm a sinner, but I'm doing this because, well, some would think they want to feel her wrath. So these house guards, they're cheap, right? Unraised maintenance, no cost. Actually, they do not have unraised maintenance at all. The full maintenance it'll cost you. Compared to the armored footmen, it's a little bit more. Actually, this is a good investment. We'll look into that. They're at peace now. Be aware. He's probably got eyes on us. Unless he's gonna go somewhere small. To the blethering Beneb Shenan Beneb Shen Rezan. May your humors rot in your living body. It seems that there's no recourse for dispute other than settle it on the battlefield. Mongol invasion of Bactria has begun. Sound the alarm. What I feared. The satrapi. Rajputana. Kashmir. Kafirkot. They want independence. She wants the Punjab throne, but she can have that. But independence, no, we cannot accept that. I'm only 14. So during the course of the war, it's only a matter of time before I take up arms. So yes, you all have disagreements with me. But soon, all of you are going to have to fight. Remember what the grandmother said. She encourages men and women of Bactria to take up arms against anyone that threatens Bactrian sovereignty. He wants all of Bactria. If Bactria is lost, then we will be reduced to a rump state. If we lose, he gets everything. He will get everything. The satrapies will become vassals. The Empire of Bactria will be destroyed. I will no longer have land. And I do not wish to return, nor do we do not wish to return back to Hispania. Probably we would need to get this when we get up to 4,000 for short reign duration, so vassals could look at us more positively. Remember, Strafe is similar to us. He's only got horse archers. He's got 16 Bagaturs. His health's feeling fine. He decided to attack Bactria at the fact that it is ruled by a teenager. But this is not just any teenager. This is the Benebshan, which she may be content, like a Buddhist should, but she's also deceitful and vengeful. In 2 years' time, she will take up arms to lead the troops to the front, but now it's going to have to be relied on other commanders. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this next episode, as we will cut this one short, the Bactrian defense against the Mongol Empire. We knew this day was coming. 2 empires on the edge of war, and it is now finally happening. And the Byzantine Empire may consider themselves lucky that they will not be the victim of this, but we will. We don't know where the troops will be gathering, but it would be wise to gather here in bulk. And as for the money, well, all that's going to have to wait. And we had interest in house guards, which I think they may come to use right now. And the chosen of Ashoka are ready. Because as for the Tengri faith, we consider them hostile, they consider us as evil. So this is considered a invasion and a holy war. The only thing we have in common is esotericism. But now this is going to cost many lives, and the parts of India wishes to leave the Bactrian Empire. If we lose that, all the good wealth, all the good income that's going to come from there, we'll lose that. Though most of the wealth comes from the satrapy, which one day will create the kingdom of Khorasan for them to run, make it easier for us to manage. So it's nearly 30,000 of us versus nearly 30,000 of them. It's an evenly matched, but clearly he's got the best advantage. Although the old age will be catching up to him, but his prowess is without equal. So, ladies and gentlemen, Bactria will stand up against the Mongols. If we lose everything. And I know that this has been a great series of how we formed Bactria, but the question is this going to be the end of Bactria? Well, the Queen of Queens survived the initial Mongol invasions before she picks up her scimitar, lead the troops on the battlefield to take it to them. Who knows? All this and more on the Bactrian-Mongol War. But until then, so long for now.